Another game last night. Thought it was going to be a little closer. Did not get the buzzer beater we were hoping for at all, by the way. Denver just crushes the Clippers. They got the 3-2 lead in that series, a 131-115 final. Jamal Murray with 43 points, 7 assists. He was 8 of 14 from 3. Jokic finished with 13, 10, and 12. That's a triple-double, in case you're wondering. Russell Westbrook had 21 off the bench.
James Harden, no 10 assists, is the only reason we smoked the parlay.
And by the way, didn't y'all say that was the one that was like, I don't know. But playoff Murray, playoff Jamal, whatever you want to call him, he is here. The 8 threes is crazy. He now has the most 40-point-plus playoff games in Nuggets history. It's crazy to me because we all know the narrative, right? Like, we spent the regular season going, man, I really wish Jamal Murray would kind of wake up and show. But in the backs of our minds, we all were like, but when the playoffs start, that's when we can count on him. And then he drops 40.
In the backs of them.
In our backs of our minds. No?
It is. It's crazy that if you're breaking records that Jokic doesn't have, like if you're doing records that Jokic isn't.
He only had one free throw.
You're
so
doing
that was a record as well.
You're doing something unbelievable. And I've always said this team is best when Jokic does this. And he does a little bit of everything, and he's playmaking, he's facilitating, and everyone else who gets involved. You have Christian Brown doing, his thing going downhill. Westbrook had an unbelievable first half yesterday. Yeah. He got them kind of off to that big lead. Porter making shots, Aaron Gordon on the glass, and then you have Jamal Murray, who's so good in the playoffs. And again, he gets a lot of flack for the regular season. Guy's never been an all-star, which is crazy. He's one of the best players to never be an all-star. But he's got a gear that he turns on, and he is better in the playoffs. So as a fan, as a coach, as a general manager, I would prefer that. Let Jokic take us to the regular season, and then let me, untap this monster in the playoffs. And that is what he continues to do. He's great. He gets everyone involved still. He's aggressive. He makes shots. It's exactly the format I think that they need for them to be playing the best basketball. And they beat the brakes off them last night. This game, it was, and
was not
Clippers are so good defensively, and they got whatever they wanted last night. So the Clippers really got to adjust in Game 6. Or it's a wrap. I
mean, they just got to play better. I don't think there's many adjustments. I needed more from Norm and James Harden. Yeah. And then Kawhi. You know, Kawhi wasn't his normal Kawhi, or the Kawhi that we expect him to be, which is a topic we'll talk about later, of when he's healthy and how efficient he is. But they just didn't play great all around offensively. But give a lot of credit to Denver. If they want to give themselves a chance at any point against OKC in the next round, Jamal Murray's going to have to play like this.
That's
easy. If he doesn't play like that, OKC is going to smoke them. Jokic can't do it by himself. Aaron Gordon's been playing well. He's been coming alive. But yeah, ultimately it came down to Jamal Murray playing well, but also on the Clipper side, I didn't see enough of James Harden, Norman Powell, and more Kawhi. I needed more because Russell Westbrook, him outscoring James and Kawhi.
That's a crazy number.
He had a bunch of threes. Like, he had a couple of threes, big time threes, but for him to outscore both of them.
That's not a good formula.
Remember when Malone got fired for playing Westbrook too much?
So I do remember that.
25 minutes and Pickett played 1 minute last night. How does that work?
But that always goes back to two, because it was either Calvin Booth was saying take Russell Westbrook out, and Malone was like no. So one of them was on Russell Westbrook's side, but they both got fired in the end.
Which is the right side, by the way. Look what this guy's doing. This guy's experience, this guy's production is unmatched. Like, you have to play a Russell Westbrook.
21 points off the bench, man. Like, why were we questioning that?
Silly.
Why were y'all questioning that?
Big risk, big reward.
Yeah, I don't get it. And plus, not only that, but he provides just such a pop in the building. Like, everything about when he goes in there and does. It was so good. It was so good. All right, let's talk about the duos, because we got the Jimmy Steph. We know that. We got Luka LeBron. We got that as well. And again, maybe it goes back to the regular season performance of Jamal Murray that we sometimes just don't see. But as far as duos left in these playoffs, let's rank them. Let's list them, Chandler.
Well, you didn't mention the best ones. That's Tatum and Brown.
I always forget.
The defending champs, which is funny. No one ever mentions them, but they are probably the best duo. Then you have the Oklahoma City Thunder duo.
Fair.
With Jalen Williams and SGA, they're probably the two best backcourt.
Do we get a Cavs duo out of this?
Then the Cavs with Donovan Mitchell, and then they're so deep, I don't even know who the second one would be, whether it's Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, whoever. But it's because of Jamal Murray's regular season struggle. It's because he's been banged up. He hasn't had the greatest regular season, but when you have Jokic and then you have a guy like this who is capable of going off for these 40-point games, the fact that he has more playoff 40-point games than Jokic or any Nugget ever is so impressive. And again, this is where they really take off. This is where they really get to the next level. Their offense has been so good all season long without this version of Jamal Murray. So they are impossible to guard. They have too many actions. They can shoot the ball. They can play through their big. They can play through their point guard. They play through the elbow. They have so many different actions that can hurt you. And when Jamal Murray is this efficient efficient and this aggressive, it just takes their offense to another level. So as far as a duo, again, I think there's still a couple above them, but I mean, man, they have the
Third
best.
is not bad.
So
Top five, like top five. Tatum, Brown.
Yeah, they're probably top 5.
They're top 5.
Okay.
I mean, I think they're right above Cat and Brunson.
They're above Cat. Okay.
Brunson's a good
I'm fine
one.
with that.
And the people that are still alive, this are the duos that are still alive,
Yeah.
right? Luka and Bron are there
We'll
right now.
see how that
We
works
don't know how longer they're going to be alive.
Yeah.
Steph and Jimmy are very much alive.
Very
They're very
much
good,
alive.
but I'd put Steph and Jimmy behind Luka and Bron, and then
Really? Behind them?
yeah.
I feel like you're giving Luka, if we're doing it based off of what we got going on right now, I think you're giving them too much credibility on just their legacies.
It could change tomorrow.
Maybe
Like the
so.
active, what's happening right now, you're putting them
Maybe so. Yeah, that's why you got to put it in totality.
They got grandfathered in on
I can't
this.
base it off just one
Luka and
series.
LeBron both have 35 tonight, and they win and force a game.
Well, then we'll
6.
have this
tomorrow
conversation
they're
again
back
tomorrow.
in.
I have no problem with
It's
that.
hard doing a show every
It's
day.
fluid. This is
It's hard
all
always
fluid.
being right.
So I can't base it all off one game, one series. So in totality,
Okay.
Luka, Bron, and then Steph and Jimmy, and then you could put them right there at right behind Jalen and Jason. Yeah,
Like,
I'll
yeah,
put
all right,
Jalen, Jason,
4-ish.
Steph and
Yeah.
Jimmy, honestly.
I don't hate it. I mean, look,
Yeah,
it's a good,
4-ish, 5-ish.
it's a really good list to be
Just
on.
shows you there's a lot of good teams. It doesn't have to be
great
a big 3 or a duo. Like look at the Pistons. I don't even know who their second best player is, and they're still alive.
That changes every night.
Yeah.
That actually changes every single night, which we love. So look, we got to talk a little James Harden now, because if you've been watching this game long enough, you know James Harden in the playoffs sometimes are not simpatico, and last night was one of those. So yeah, 11 points on 9 shot attempts. I can remember playoff games where he just disappears, Chandler, and you hate to see it happen. He skipped availability for media this game and the last.
I don't love that.
So let's jump into this. What are
Here's
we
the
doing
thing: when
here?
you play good, own it. When you play bad, own it. And I just want to see him be more aggressive. Again, 9 shots for James Harden in a big game like this, 2-2, the series tied. It's not enough. And again, Kawhi has been great. Norman Powell's been great. Zubac was their best player last night. He's been unbelievable all series long. But the consistent guy with the ball in his hands has got to be James Harden. He's got to take care of the ball. Having 5 assists to 4 turnovers in a game when the series is tied like that is unacceptable. But I just want to see him back aggressive. Get to the free throw line. Do what you usually do. He's one of the most innovative, creative scorers that we've ever seen. Do that now on the big stage, because your team's going to need you. He's going to have to do it in Game 6 to force a Game 7. There's no one on that team that can guard him. He's got to get downhill. He's got to get to the free throw line and just take more shots. Like
Christian Brown did a decent
9
job.
shots is not enough.
Yeah, I'm with you. And he was the guy for me to watch last night, and I was hoping that he flipped the narrative, because he always
we're waiting on it.
He has great, game 1, 2, or 3, or 1 and 3, whatever, 1, 2, and 4. Through 4 games, he's always pretty solid. 5, 6, and 7, people
Big
say
ones.
he kind of starts to fade away and be passive. I was hoping that last night he was more aggressive, like Chandler said. Whether it's even being pick and roll with Zubac, that 2-man game that's been working on. He's an all-star this year. So you are the point guard. You can control your shot taking and shot making. Well, not making, but shot taking. You can take more shots than 9. So yeah, I was hoping to see him more aggressive and not out there. But luckily there's still more basketball to play. But yeah, this was
It's a
game
phenomenon.
that I was hoping that he flipped it, and he didn't.
It's like psychologically with James Harden, it is a fascinating thing to watch in playoffs. Like, what happens?
It goes to show how big a part of the mental aspect of the game
Yeah,
is.
it's mental.
No matter how talented you are, how
But he
great
like
of a
wakes
player
up
you are.
on the day of Game 5 and 4 and just goes and forgets everything that he
Well,
just
last night
finished
they didn't
doing.
even guard him differently.
Right.
People are going to force him right. People are going to trap him. They're still going to be. He's going to be guarded pretty much the same way, right? There could be something different.
Sure.
But, he's got to be more aggressive. Kawhi last night, I feel like, kind of floated throughout the game. Like he didn't do what he did when they were winning these games early on. So I think they definitely got to be more aggressive. And someone's got Chris Dunn. He's been a great defender. He's really opened up some eyes. He's got to kind of turn that water off Jamal Murray Game 6, because you can't allow him to go crazy like that again, because they're too good when he gets that.
He's going to have 37.
This is a testament of how hard the playoffs are and winning a championship is, because it's not just the physical, it's the mental.
The mental
staying
seems
locked
big.
in is not easy to do for 7 games or for 4 different series. So the teams that can do that have that mental fortitude or that mental stamina, are the ones that win. And it's just shown. Maybe, James, that stamina, he hasn't been able to keep that stamina.
Hate to see it.
Certain teams, usually you see it in immature teams, young teams, we're not able to stay locked in for 4, 5, 6, 7 games. But these guys are veterans.
If Rory can win the Masters this season, James can get over this.
He'll bounce back. He'll respond.
He's going to figure it out.
Give us the 7-game series.
Yeah, that's all we're asking. And a game winner, if you could, at the very end. Taking a quick break on the other side. He's back. Anthony Slater joins us. We're going to talk a little Warriors next.
Run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back, run it up.